Details.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition start now.
Prime Minister Philip Davis urging residents of the northern Bahamas and surrounding Keys to take precautions ahead of the approaching Hurricane Milton. Good evening all, I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thanks so much for tuning in. Though the storm is not expected to pose a significant threat as a direct hit from a hurricane, the Prime Minister stressed the need for vigilance and preparedness.
The Net Office advises that as Hurricane Milton passes over Florida, tropical storm winds will be experienced on Abaco, Bimini, and Grand Bahama, and as I said earlier, the surrounding Keys.
Tropical storm conditions, including heavy rainfall and possible flooding, are expected in the northern Bahamas between Wednesday, October 9th and Thursday, October 10th. While Hurricane Milton is not predicted to make landfall in the North Bahamas, Prime Minister Davis urging residents to stay informed and pay close attention to updates.
The broadcast alert system has already been activated on all mobile phones in the country. Please pay attention to the alerts and follow the advice given. ZNS and other news outlets will broadcast further alerts and updates as they are issued.
The northern Bahamas is no stranger to severe weather, and the Prime Minister stresses that there is no need to panic, as the projected path of Milton suggests the islands will avoid a direct hit. Despite this, Prime Minister Davis encouraged residents to focus on staying safe, even in less severe conditions.
If your home is at risk of flooding, go and stay with a friend or relative whose home may not face such risk. Stock up on water, food, batteries, and so on, as you would when facing a direct threat of a hurricane. Clear anything from your property which may be blown around in the wind. Protect your doors and windows. Raise your furniture or other household valuables off the floor in case of the flooding. And of course, and more importantly, protect yourselves.
The Prime Minister added that Bahamians have weathered such storms before and emerged resilient. He urges everyone to remain vigilant, prepared, and ready to act if necessary.
Our government stands prepared to take every necessary measure to protect lives, property, and communities. I want to thank you, and may God continue to bless and protect the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Well, the Minister for Grand Bahama and Member of Parliament for West, Grand Bahama and Bimini stressing that while the northern Bahamas faces only a tropical storm threat, being prepared is essential. Jolanda Thompson-Everest has more on this report.
Member of Parliament for Pine Ridge and the Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Ginger Moxie, along with the Member of Parliament for West Grand Bahama and Bimini, Kingsley Smith, are demonstrating their dedication to ensuring that the Disaster Consultative Committee is well equipped and prepared for any impacts of Hurricane Milton.
Just, trying to get the word out, make sure everyone is doing their part, and we believe that we are going to be okay.
The minister reflects on Hurricane Dorian and the lasting impact it had on residents. In light of past devastation, she emphasizes that improving hurricane preparedness is now more crucial than ever.
I think that we're handling it, we're managing it, the expectations as well, and so that's why the weather department have been so focused on not trying to alarm, but to educate.
The Member of Parliament for West Grand Bahama and Bimini, Kingsley Smith Jr., acknowledges that despite the storm's current path, storms unexpectedly change directions.
And so you may have on the southern side of the island, you may have some seas that come over, some water that come onto the land based on from the breeze or the wind pushing.
The West Grand Bahama Disaster Consultative Committee collaborated with the NGO Bahama Rock ahead of the storm to provide sandbags for residents. Smith emphasizes that corporate collaboration as such is essential.
Would have proposed that they would do for some months now. And so now that there is a pending threat of a storm, the sign was placed at the entrance of Bahama Rock.
Minister Moxie and Mr. Smith are also urging residents to exercise caution and is advising those that live near the water to move further inland, emphasizing the importance of not taking anything for granted. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Jolanda Thompson, Everest.
Thanks, Jolanda. Now, again, as officials remind the Northern Bahamas not to panic, a plan is in place for those who may need to move to a shelter. According to Assistant Director of Social Services, Jody Burrows, the following locations will be opened tomorrow: the Forster B. Pristina Center at 8 a.m., the 8 Mile Rock Gym at 9 a.m., Maurice Moore Primary at 9 a.m.
We expect persons to behave in an exemplary manner. You know, we wouldn't expect anything less. However, previous storms and opening shelters have obviously dictated otherwise. We have Defense Force officers who are normally in shelters with us to keep the peace as peace officers, and the police officers make rounds on a regular basis once the storm is not traveling at that moment.
Now, Burrows adds that persons seeking shelter should also bring medicine and any important items they may need. The airport is among 6 of the country's airports closing as Hurricane Milton's churns in the Atlantic Ocean. Director of Aviation Kenneth Romo lists those closures as he says officials have been monitoring the weather.
Tower International Airport that will close at official sunset today reopens on the 11th of October at 10 a.m. Tropical storm winds are expected to be between 40 to 58 miles per hour. Treasure Key airports, Morris Island Airport and Sandy Point airports will also be closing officially on the 9th of October this evening at the official sunset, reopening at 10 a.m. on the 11th of October. Grand Bahama International Airport will close officially at 8 p.m. This evening, opening again at 10 a.m. on Friday, the 11th of October.
Now, Bimini International Airport closed at 2 p.m. while operations will resume at sunrise on Friday.
Again, tropical storm winds are attributed to the closure of this airport. We expect wind conditions to be between 40 to 58 miles per hour. Again, we spoke with the air traffic controllers who have liaison again with Florida, and the airports in Tampa, Fort Myers, and Orlando are currently closed. There is a pending closure for Palm Beach at 9 p.m. And at the moment, we expect the airport in Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and Key West to remain open. If there are changes to this update, we will certainly notify the public.
And as the Northern Bahamas remains under a tropical storm watch, residents are bracing for the impending effects of Category 5 Hurricane Milton, which is packing sustained winds at 165 miles per hour and expected to impact the region within hours. Local officials are urging urgent safety warnings and urging preparations for strong winds and potential coastal flooding. Our Raven Davis is standing by now with the latest.
That is correct, Remiko. We are coming to you live from the first floor of the Harold de Gregory building. Now, at this hour, we can tell you residents across the Northern Bahama Islands are anxiously awaiting Hurricane Milton's impact. Now, at last check, Hurricane Milton was a powerful Category 4 hurricane packing winds of sustained 145 miles per hour. Now, we did get a chance to speak to Senior Met Officer at the Bahamas Department of Meteorology, Ternard Tynes, who is giving the latest outlook for Grand Bahama for this evening.
This evening, we are just going to be on a light breeze, probably 10 to 15 knot winds. And then we're looking at overnight, around midnight. After midnight, you start to feel the breeze really pick up during that time as Hurricane Milton should be making landfall sometime this afternoon in the Tampa Bay area.
Some 20 counties in Florida on tornado watch, and local officials are on the lookout for possible tornadic activity. And as anxiety builds, Tyne says while storms can be unpredictable, it is unlikely Milton will take a direct aim at this region.
The most of the activity is going to be to the north of the system. But that not rule out that we're not going to get one or two isolated spots. We'll get some heavy shots. And but the main concern, what we are basically looking for, is basically the wind, and we probably get some coastal flooding due to wind-driven waves. We are outside of the cone of uncertainty. It's been like that for the past couple of days well, so we have a definite handle that the system is not going to directly move across our area for sure. However, because of the proximity of the system, the size of the system is going to extend some wind bands all the way out to us.
For the Northern Bahamas, including Grand Bahama, Abaco, and Bimini, he says improvement can be expected by Friday morning or Friday afternoon.
And then for us, we should start feeling an improvement as we go into, let's say, Thursday night. And then the rest of Abaco and Walker's Key area, they will start to feel the effects leaving like Friday morning or so. Depending on if it picks up more speed, it'll be quicker. But the models are showing that they stayed in the same pace, so we're going to stay in the range of Thursday and Friday. We will see a gradual improvement.
Well, Ramiko, just outside, things have not changed much since earlier today. We do have a bit more activity in terms of the wind, but no rain shower at this time. Well, Tynes is assuring residents that they should hunker down and just enjoy the breeze. He also is advising those residents to steer clear of the shorelines, especially those in West End, where they can expect some 3 to 4 feet of flooding. Reporting live from the first floor of the Harold Gregory building, I'm Raven Davis. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks so much, Raven, outside of our studios. Well, residents on Grand Bahama are not taking any chances and stocking up on the bare essentials. Our ZNS News team took to the streets to see how shopping has been going. Shane Stubbs provides the details in this report.
Residents aren't taking the tropical storm warning placed on the northwest of Bahamas lightly as Hurricane Milton prepares to make landfall over in Florida. Here in the downtown area, residents are doing their last-minute shopping for food items, taking every precaution for what's to come.
While the threat is not as significant as that of a hurricane threat posed to our neighbors in Florida, we still need to take it seriously.
With official warning going forth, some residents sprung into action, gearing up with the bare necessities.
We're here getting some water and some canned goods and some unperishable stuff, just in case if we get an impact.
Most of us, we have our children, grandchildren, and so, call around, make sure that they're good.
Some gas, water, bread, and stuff like that, I don't want to go overboard because, sometimes get too excited and you do overshop.
Meanwhile, at appliance and hardware stores around town, managers noticed an even flow of customers, indicating that there was no overshopping. It was a welcoming sight to see everyone not taking chances.
And what they're doing is they're making sure that they have at least the basic essentials.
They are coming in a little slow, I guess, waiting at the last minute. Preparation is always the key. It's best to have it and don't need it, and to need it and don't have it.
Now, while forecasters are predicting life-threatening conditions for our neighbors to the west of us ahead of imminent landfall, residents are sending out their well wishes and prayers, as we're all too familiar with the catastrophic effects of such a powerful storm.
Well, I pray that they be ready for the storm, and I pray that they evacuate like how the government and stuff tell them to evacuate.
I am very phobic when you hear of this kind of thing, and then hearing that it will hit the coast with approximately category 4 or 5, that's serious fresh in my mind.
I just hope and pray that God spare and protect the people in Orlando. I mean, we've been through it. I've been through it with Dorian, and it's no fun. It's hard, it's tough. So I just hope and pray that they're safe and they make it through it.
For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Shane Stubbs.
Now, the Emergency Operations Center on Grand Bahama is now fully activated, and residents in need of assistance can contact 351-4902 or 351-4903.
And still to come.
When we come back,
West Grand Bahama is prone to floods. Hear how officials are preparing to safeguard residents in the west as they anticipate tropical storm conditions.
Hear that? If you listen closely, you can hear the heartbeat of a nation. That unique sound of a great country, pounding with colorful history, a rich culture, and unwavering ambition. When you look around, you recognize its pulse. The people who love to celebrate, who identify with triumph, a people who know how to be our brother's keeper. Commonwealth Bank, built by Bahamians, here for Bahamians, Bahamians helping Bahamians.
On down and see what Dolly Madison has in store for you. Renovate and rejuvenate at Dolly Madison.
Don't miss the 25% National Heroes Day sale at Park & Shop, excluding underwear and red tag items this October 11th and 12th. The Paint Fair family has made the move to their new location on Bellevue Lane off of Queens Highway. Visit the store and join the selfie competition to win free paint to remake your home. Follow them on Instagram or Facebook for all the details today. Calling all vendors. The 2025 Grand Bahama Junk Canoe Parade vendor applications are now available. Collect your application from the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture on Regent Center East, West Explorers Way. The deadline is October 18th. For more information, call 351-6667.
Here at Freeport Decorators, we have hundreds of products for you to choose from. Whether you're in the market for trophies, plaques, rubber stamps, corporate signs, any kind of interior signage, stamps, or seals, we're your one-stop shop. We feature glass, acrylic, crystal awards for every occasion. We build all the trophies here on site. Looking for a gift item? We feature pens, key rings, mugs, tumblers, barbecue tools, even bamboo cutting boards. Have something already? Bring it on down. Let us see if we can print that special something on it for you. Need a headstone? Memorialize the memory of your loved one with a beautifully lasered granite marker. Our store hours are Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. We focus on customization. So if you have an idea or a new concept, bring it on down or call us at 352-5557 or even WhatsApp your idea to us at 646-0777 and we will do our best to make your awards and recognition ideas a reality.
Your #1 team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
Now to this breaking news. Cabinet has advised that due to the projected course of Hurricane Milton and forecast weather associated with it to impact the Grand Bahama, Abaco, and Bimini, all essential services will be closed tomorrow, Thursday, October 10th. Well, in other news, as Grand Bahama braces for the incoming effects of Hurricane Milton, residents are in full preparation mode, stocking up on the essential like loaves of bread. Matthew Martinborough reports.
It's a popular item for residents once a storm is impending. Fresh bread, particularly from stores like this one within the Pindas Point community.
You have to try to get what you can while you can, you know.
Everybody that's going, running around, shopping, doing all that shopping.
If your neighbor don't have bread, give your neighbor a loaf of bread. Let us look out for one another in this time and in this season as we go through this.
With residents rushing to get themselves loaves to get through the incoming storm, bakery owners like Daryl Pinder of Bread of Life are more than happy to assist the community with the baked goods.
We hold our own and our customers, and we try our best to continue to offer them good quality product. And that's what we're about. We'll do our best to try to give good customer service, and hopefully we could please you guys in that respect.
Although weather conditions are getting worse, residents are ensuring that they go the extra mile to be prepared for whatever Milton has coming our way. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Matthew Martinborough.
Thanks, Matthew. Well, the West Grand Bahama community is one area that is prone to flooding. Officials assessing the area earlier today. Our Jay Philippe was there and joins us live with the latest. Jay.
Well, Ramiko, the breeze has certainly picked up in West Grand Bahama. I'm at the ICC, which is the Incident Command Center in 8 Mile Rock. at the Obadiah Wilshcombe Government Complex. I would have made 2 trips down here today, my cameraman and I. We would have traversed into 8 Mile Rock, and also in West End we saw a number of residents, concerned residents that is, making last-minute preparations as far as purchasing household items, water, and different stuff, necessities needed for the tropical storm. I also had an opportunity to sit in a briefing with the Minister for Grand Bahama and the Member of Parliament for West End and Bimini, where they made some plans and made provisions as residents in 8 Mile Rock and West End can expect to feel impact of tropical storm conditions as early as midnight. One of the focuses in West Grand Bahama has been the clearing of drainages, which is expected to prevent water from accumulating.
The Ministry of Works has now mobilized and clearing all the drains from Hepburn Town straight into West End. And you know, as far as the area of Texaco, Martin Town, that holds water. So it's good to know that they are being blown.
I'm happy to see the drainage being cleared. I think all hands are on deck. We have all of the various agencies fully functioning and ready to go. Happy to hear the report from the Met Office, who briefed us this morning as well.
According to Senior Met Officer in the Department of Meteorology, Trinidad Tynes, West Grand Bahama and Bimini will feel tropical storm effects of Hurricane Milton as early as midnight with 15 to 25 miles per hour winds. The news of possible heavy rains has these residents in preparation mode, securing food items for their households.
I like getting some canned good stuff together, you know, do a little cooking and chill out and watch the weather. We're trying to get things together, little things that could keep you going until you could see it better.
I tell you the truth. If you listen to the weather, we can have winds and rains. I think we could take that.
The Obadiah Wilshcombe Government Complex will serve as the Incident Command Center for West Grand Bahama, which is now activated for residents in the Western District.
We are activated, and the command center, we would have given out the emergency telephone numbers to the public. We would have had it circulated, and as you see, that we have persons here to answer the telephone calls.
The Department of Social Services is indeed ready. The 8 Mile Rock Gym will be open tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. to accept shelterees if there is a need.
Now that Incident Command Center, which I spoke about, is located on the 3rd floor of the Obadiah Wilshcombe Complex. Now we do have a show at 8 p.m. later on tonight, and at that time I'll be able to give you more information as the Incident Command officials and persons inside are gathering thoughts as far as what's going to happen. So Miko, I'll talk to you again at 8 p.m. reporting from the Obadiah Wilshcombe Government Complex. I'm Jay Philippe. Back to you in studio.
Thanks so much, Jay. Well, over on the island of Bimini, residents are definitely ready for the impending storm. Family Island Administrator Eva K. Arthur has an update.
About making their final preparations ahead of this storm in a few hours. But the weather right now is, the breeze has picked up and the seas are raging, but it's still the skies are still clear at the moment. There's no rain at the moment. And so that's the conditions of the weather right now. When I went out today, the stores didn't have much people in it this morning, and because persons would have already done their final preparations. Well, a few persons up and about getting their final stuff done. But other than that, I think everybody has already done what they're supposed to do. And we're just waiting, we're just watching and waiting right now.
Now, there are 2 designated shelters on the island of Bimini. The shelters are activated, and she tells us that already 1 resident is taking advantage of the facilities.
We have 1 shelter at the moment, 1 person assigned in so far, and that's at the Louise McDonald High School. And the other shelter would be the Urban Renewal Center. No one has signed in for that shelter as yet. All hands are on deck. The Royal Bahamas Police Force, they're waiting and they're ready. Social service workers, they are ready. Everyone is just a wait and watch game from here. But we are prepared and we are ready to go.
Now, once again, residents of Bimini and the Keys are prepared for the storm and following all of this, protocols pertaining to the dangerous storm. Stay with us, the Bahamas Tonight. The Northern Edition is back right after this.
It's KB and Friends live in concert at the Grand Bahama Ballroom Sunday, October 13th. Gates open at 6 p.m. and the show starts at 8 p.m. Tickets are $60 in advance, $80 at the door. Served by the Ministry of Tourism, the Ministry for Grand Bahama, and Extreme Auto.
Journey to a serene oasis. Relax. Rejuvenate. Renew. Welcome to Renew Day Spa. For appointments, call 352-RE-NU.
One of the biggest decisions you will make when remodeling a kitchen is the design choice for your kitchen cabinets. Whether you want your kitchen to look modern or traditional, the Casablanca White Shaker cabinets will make a sound choice. Stop into Grand Bahamas today and let them enhance your kitchen with the Casablanca White Shaker cabinets. At Grand Bahamas, they also carry an array of Calacatta quartz countertops. Grand Bahamas, Sandyport, Nassau, Freeport, Grand Bahama, Abaco, and Eleuthera.
Hey, what are you doing?
I'm self-insuring my investment, starting with this tarp.
We all remember the blue tarps after the storm. Let's make sure that we are covered with more than a tarp. Don't allow your investment to be at risk. Protect your investment with one of our insurance policies.
Nobody does it better.
Welcome back. As Hurricane Milton approaches, officials from the Grand Bahama Power Company have assured the public that a storm response plan has been activated. The Director of Customer Operations says GBPC has taken all the necessary steps to ensure they are ready to respond and restore power as safely as possible. Additionally, all vehicles and equipment have been fully stocked and prepared for any potential challenges. And while there are no scheduled controlled shutdowns at this time, there is a possibility of isolated outages.
To do so once conditions allow and it is safe to do so, we will promptly restore power. I would also like to strongly encourage everyone to stay indoors and avoid venturing out immediately or during the storm, as there may be downed power lines, fallen trees, or potentially even flooding in certain areas. Our lines may appear to be inactive. However, they can still be energized and pose serious risks to individuals who may come in contact with them.
Don't go away, the Bahamas tonight. The Northern Edition is back after this.
October 13th, due to the logistics and unstable weather pattern, we had to take it inside the Grand Bahama Ballroom. I'm a boatman. Featuring KB, Chino T, Nishi LS, T-Mac, Sweet Emily, Elon Moxie, Funky T, Lil Joe Cartwright, Sherrod Taylor, Wilfred Solomon, Veronica Bishop, Stevie S, Mama D, Colin McDonald, Papa Smurf, Shine 242, Recon Bahamas, Chad Gully and the VIP, special guest from Turks and Caicos, the Provision Bag, and host Super P. Sunday, October 13th at the Grand Bahama Ballroom. Doors open at 6 p.m., showtime at 8 p.m. Admission $60. Tickets are available now at Pennyworth, Brenda's Booth, Coffees on the Bay, Gizmos and Gadgets, and Signature Choices. For more info, phone 819-2233 Bahamas and 649-231-0018. TCI, I'm a boatman. Sunday, October 13th at the Grand Bahama Ballroom. KB and Fred.
Sponsored by the Ministry of Tourism, Ministry for Grand Bahama, and Extreme Auto.
Jade Champagne and The Rhythm presents 102.7 The Rhythm turns 3, and it's a big performance with Taurus Riley live. Taurus Riley live. Oh yeah, the hitmaker, the reggae icon, Taurus Riley live. Saturday, December 14th at the Grand Bahama Ballroom. Doors open at 8 p.m., showtime at 11 p.m. For 102.7 The Rhythm big birthday party with Taurus Riley live. Get tickets online now. TheRhythm3.com. And it's a big performance. Taurus Riley. Brought to you by Jade Champagne and The Rhythm. Saturday, December 14th, 102.7 The Rhythm. Turns 3 with Taurus Riley. Live.
City of Freeport Council is here to remind you that preparedness saves lives. We know the importance of being prepared.
Stay updated on the latest weather forecasts and advisories.
Secure your home. Reinforce doors and windows. Trim trees and branches around your property. Protect your home to minimize damages later.
Stay informed. Keep a battery-powered radio or smartphone with emergency alerts enabled.
We're all in this together. Let's ensure that everybody is safe and prepared.
Let's stand together this hurricane season, prepared and resilient. Your City of Freeport Council is committed to keeping you safe.
Your #1 team in the north. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
And that is going to do it for us here in the north. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thanks so much for tuning in. Be sure to join us again for a special 1-hour broadcast on Hurricane Milton at 8 p.m. right here on the ZNS Network.
ZNS News is brought to you by the new BTC. Fiber is here. Faster, stronger, more reliable. Together, we are unstoppable. Switch today.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, Bahamians in Florida speak. Hear what precautions these students are taking while they ride out the expected battering of menacing Hurricane Milton. Also, while Florida is at a standstill, Hurricane Milton's pending arrival doesn't seem to be stopping cruise arrivals to the Bahamas. Hear how some visitors are taking it all in stride. And a weather pattern of another kind shaking up residents of an eastern New Providence community. We have the details of the damage wrought and who came to the rescue. The Bahamas tonight, the National Report starts now. Everyone, and welcome to the broadcast. Menacing Milton closing in on Florida, with U.S. forecasters predicting the worst as residents hope and pray for the best. Already coined the storm of the century, Milton said to be packing storm surges that could reach 15 feet above ground level with catastrophic flash flooding. Here at home, local officials have admonished Bahamians in the impacted areas to take every precaution, and in doing so, to allow calm heads to prevail. All joining us in studio to give us the very latest on Hurricane Milton and what conditions we can expect is Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening.
Good evening, Makisha. Let me at the outset state that there's no need to panic, even though Milton is closing in on the west coast of Florida. At 5 o'clock, the center was some 60 miles to the west-southwest of Sarasota, Florida. It's moving towards the northeast at a very good clip now, 17 miles per hour. And once it moves inland, we expect further weakening of this system, but it will remain hurricane intensity as it crosses the peninsula. And on the Atlantic side, tomorrow when it emerges off the east coast of Florida, we expect it to continue to weaken, and by 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, the center of circulation is expected to be just north of Grand Bahama, some 100 miles to the north of Grand Bahama, and by 8 o'clock in the evening, about 100 miles to the north of Abaco. And if you look at the wind field of this system, the tropical storm force winds extend outward some 255 miles from the center, meaning us here in New Providence, we are completely out of that field, so we should be pretty much okay here. Grand Bahama and Abaco, they will get some fresh breezes, perhaps 20 to 30 miles per hour, gusting occasionally up to 40 miles per hour or slightly higher in squally showers. And those showers will be of an isolated nature, as we only anticipate 1 or 2 rain bands to move across the islands tomorrow. And right now, 120 miles per hour is the maximum sustained wind, making it a Category 3 hurricane as it is about to make landfall on Sarasota, Florida.
That weakening, all very good news for us, but are there any other systems out there that we should be worried or even keep an eye out for out there?
We are currently monitoring a couple out in the far eastern Atlantic, but all the computer models are suggesting that they will all turn towards the northwest, meaning they will not reach us in the near future.
Well, you'll hear more from Basil Dean, Chief Meteorologist, in Access Now. It goes without saying, though, that there are many Bahamians living directly in the path of Hurricane Milton, many of whom heeded the advice to evacuate as the dangerous storm approaches Florida. Today's EdNest News spoke with two Bahamian students who moved to what they're hoping is safer ground. Matea Cunningham reports.
Hurricane Milton has abruptly disrupted the day-to-day routine for Bahamians living in Central and South Florida. The last 48 hours for them has been filled with emotions such as panic, anxiety, confusion, and fear, as they're knowingly at risk for being caught in the path of the Category 4 terror. Fortunately, some Bahamians made it back home through Bahamas Air's Orlando flight, while others made other provisions. Rashante Sumner, a 2019 graduate of Anatole Rogers High School, moved just outside of Tampa to ride out Milton.
I don't have the headache of having to, be afraid of coming back to a home that most likely won't be there. Like those people down in South Tampa, they most likely won't have a home once they come back from the hurricane, just because the storm surge are supposed to be like 15 feet. Even though I on the second floor, I'm more so scared of the fact that it may be so flooded out there that we can't leave if let's say the roof start leaking or get lifted off or anything like that. I just you know what, let me just go. Let me just go from my apartment and go where there are, more resources.
We also spoke with a few Bahamians previously located or based in the projected impact areas. Cherish Pennerman moved and now feels safe.
Milton does remind me of Hurricane Dorian due to its wind strength and storm surges. So I do hope that everyone on the West Coast and Central Florida was able to evacuate and prepare. The area that I evacuated to is safe. It is not in the cone of the storm, and I am not in a flooding zone.
Although these Bahamian students are still in Central Florida, concerns can begin to ease knowing that they are taking the necessary risk and available measures to relocate out of the direct path of Hurricane Milton. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Matea Cunningham.
Well, thanks, Matea. Now, another Bahamian living in Tampa, Pastor Shivargo Lightbourne, initially chose to stay in town despite the dire warnings to evacuate. He says he and his wife had taken in elderly neighbors. However, this afternoon, those plans changed.
We got a lot of emergency vehicles that are on the road right now. We're headed south to try to get out of this. There is a lot of people on the road right now trying to get out. We decided at the last minute to get out of this traffic, to get out of this whole storm, because right now it's looking to be a Category 4 when it hits us. So we definitely don't want to be there for a 4. So we are trying to make it down to Miami area. Our goal was to stay, but at the last minute we had to make a decision to leave. So we are on the roads right now. It's about 12:15 p.m. and it doesn't expect to hit the Tampa area until probably about 8 to 11 o'clock tonight.
Now, as the haunting of Hurricane Dorian lingers, residents in the northern Bahamas are readying themselves for Hurricane Milton's fierce outer bands, prompting officials to send a stern warning not to take this storm for granted. Devontae Hanna is on the story.
Tonight, residents in the northern Bahamas brace for impact.
Within the next 24 hours, it is important that you do all that you can to stay safe.
As meteorologists predict, Abaco, Bimini, and Grand Bahama in the coming hours will feel tropical storm conditions from Hurricane Milton's outer bands, bringing up to 10 inches of rain and more expected across the Bahamas.
For the northwest, we expect 3 to 5 inches of rainfall with isolated maximums around 8 inches. For the central, we expect 1 to 2 inches with isolated maximum of around 4 inches of rainfall.
Hurricane Milton is now an extremely dangerous Category 4 storm with life-threatening wind gusts and storm surge. For the Bahamas, though, a major concern is flooding. This as the Minister of Works, the Honorable Clay Sweeting, revealed work is already underway to prevent a long-term stay of water.
You'll see that the water's receding
much quicker than times before. We did significant drainage cleaning throughout the islands. If you notice downtown, you notice that the water escapes much quicker than times before.
Tonight, the Disaster Risk Management Authority stands ready to spring into action in the face of tragedy.
The Central Abaco Pines School has been activated as a shelter, which would allow for those residents to relocate there temporarily as the effects of Hurricane Milton pass.
Forecasters say conditions should ease by Friday morning, with an expected all clear to be given by that evening. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Devontae Hanno.
Now, meantime, a change of plans for students attending schools here in New Providence, Andros, and the Berry Islands, and Eleuthera. The Ministry of Education announcing this evening that due to changing conditions, in-person classes will resume come Thursday, October 10th. Showers and thunderstorms associated with Hurricane Milton forecast to affect the northwest Bahamas this afternoon dissipated as it moved across South Florida earlier today. Now, this means the amount of rainfall that was expected to adversely affect those areas significantly decreased. The ministry adding that while some rainfall is expected tonight and Thursday, it would be insufficient to cancel school in the mentioned islands. Meantime, Cabinet Office advising that due to the projected path of Hurricane Milton and its associated weather, all government offices, with the exception of essential services, all government offices in Grand Bahama, Abaco, and Bimini will be closed tomorrow. Coming up, Mother Nature's wrath leaves destruction in eastern New Providence. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. There's more news in a moment.
At Commonwealth Bank, we offer affordable and flexible choices to get you back to financial fitness. Our personalized debt consolidation solution is built to fit any financial situation. One easy-to-handle monthly payment reduces your monthly expenses and gets you back on track to savings. Life is great when you're not weighed down by debt. Consolidate and live your best life with Commonwealth Bank, your leader in personal banking services.
KFC is giving you more to love with our KFC Bucket Meal with large size. Get the KFC Family Bucket featuring 8 pieces of juicy chicken, family fries, and 4 biscuits that feeds 4. A KFC Deluxe Bucket with 10 pieces of delicious chicken, 2 larger sides, and 4 biscuits that feeds 4 to 6. Or a KFC Party Bucket with 15 pieces of our chicken, 3 larger sides, and 6 biscuits that feeds 6. And we'll handle the dishes, plates, and utensils included, so you can lick your fingers and reach. KFC knows value, and it's finger licking good.
Whether you're crossing borders or navigating busy airports, with BTC's reliable data roaming, you're always in touch. In a fast-paced world, staying connected is key. Don't miss important moments. Stay connected effortlessly with BTC, wherever your journey takes you.
Entire flight food and Western Air. We hope that you enjoyed your flight and we look forward to serving you in the near future.
Portion of the news is brought to you by Bahamas Striping Group of Companies.
You're looking at a shot of a beach on beautiful Long Island. Welcome back. Cruise passengers into Nassau didn't seem to be terribly bothered by Hurricane Milton's pending landfall. Corville Pfeiffer met many of them today as they arrived here in the capital, aware but unfazed.
Tonight, this couple from just outside Orlando is worried. Their Central Florida coast home is possibly in the bullseye of Hurricane Milton.
We are safe.
The house might not be, but again, we can replace the house.
Just 2 weeks ago, they barely escaped the wrath of another monstrous storm, Helene.
Oh, I think everybody who's on the coast who just went through Helen, they still have destruction. They still have, and now they have to rethink about leaving.
Other passengers coming into the Nassau cruise port Wednesday were monitoring the weather, but not letting anything get in the way of their good time.
So we're not used to clouds and rain. It's just kind of throwing us off already. But
very similar to this, eh?
Yeah, very similar to this. A little more humid.
Right.
Yeah, it does horrible things for my hair, but other than that, looking good and enjoying the day.
No, we ain't had no storm, just rain when we first got here. Then we left there and got on the boat. Yeah.
So you're still having a good time?
Yeah, I'm still having a good time.
All right.
Yeah, everything's pretty out here. It's pretty. Yeah. All right, Louisville, Kentucky.
Others are taking it all in stride.
How do you feel about the fact that you have that extra day?
Half and half.
This visitor from near Charlotte dodged Helene's bullet, but understands how destructive these ferocious systems can be.
You know, the area I was in, luckily we didn't really get hit so bad, but like Gaston County, like a lot of the places surrounding, they got hit really bad.
While the couple from Florida's Central Coast is hoping for the best for their community and urging their neighbors to take this storm seriously.
And I feel like the fact that the mandatory evacuations, they better listen to that.
So far, there hasn't been word from any of the cruise liners about their plans for passengers as Milton readies for landfall in Florida's western Gulf Coast, nor has there been any significant rerouting of vessels to our area as the storm passes. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Corval Pfeiffer.
Well, busted windows, loosened shingles, uprooted trees, snapped branches, downed fences. Quite a scare for some residents of Claridge Cove subdivision off Marigold Farm Road, who yesterday got a taste of Mother Nature's wrath ahead of erratic Hurricane Milton making landfall in Florida. Today, they're counting their blessings.
The roof of our residence was destroyed. A number of plywoods have been destroyed and taken off of our roof. There's a lot of trees that are now down due to the heavy winds.
Listen, I was actually just watching television when I heard the big noise, like a loud wind, and I looked through the window, everything was basically swirling. And a few minutes, I wouldn't even say a few minutes, a few seconds, like you could count to 4, that's how fast it happened. And I came outside afterwards, looking at the neighbors and stuff. I went in the back of the yard. My shingles off the roof, the house is already leaking, and all the trees down in the back of the yard, and the fence is on the ground. Yep, I've never experienced nothing like this. It was scary.
I heard a clash in the front part of my house, just thinking that maybe with the heavy wind, there was one of the pictures came off the wall, came into my living room, and my living room roof was gone. Rain and wind gushing in. My whole living room was soaked in a matter of seconds.
Now, luckily, help came quickly.
And we are here, we assessed the damages, we brought some tarp, and we're going to deal with this situation as soon as possible.
Well, stay with us. Tips to avoid stalling out is after the break.
And if the news is brought to you by Folk Call Smart Pass, the smart way to pay at the pump.
One of the biggest decisions you will make when remodeling a kitchen is the design choice for your kitchen cabinets. Whether you want your kitchen to look modern or traditional, the Casablanca White Shaker cabinets will make a sound choice. Stop into Grand Bahamas today and let them enhance your kitchen with the Casablanca White Shaker cabinets. At Grand Bahamas, they also carry an array of Calacatta quartz countertops. Grand Bahamas, Sandyport, Nassau, Freeport, Grand Bahama, Abaco, and Eleuthera.
Over at
decade ago, the Bahamas Striping Group of companies was birthed out of a passion to change the way we travel. From only a $5,000 grant, the tenacity and work ethic has propelled BSGC to one of the leading road management companies in the Caribbean. We pride ourselves on going the extra mile where others won't, through the use of our state-of-the-art equipment and our certified team. Although the success is commendable, the road has been long. Yet, the mission continues in striving to be a world-class organization ran by Bahamians for Bahamians. With the help of our experienced and hardworking team, we at the Bahamas Striping Group of companies are committed to making a difference, one road at a time.
Join us for Exuma Business Outlook, October 17th at Grand Isle Resort. Find out what is driving positive change for the future of Exuma. Keynote speaker MP for Exuma and Deputy Prime Minister I. Chester Cooper. Engage with panelists and presenters on better outcomes for the economy, business development, sustainable infrastructure, airports and airlift, technology, and more. Register today at tclevents.com.
Streets of Nassau sustaining major flooding over the past few days. Our Danielle Dean spoke with a specialist who gave practical tips on how to avoid engine stalling.
Several days of heavy rain leading to flooded streets here in the capital. But what should motorists do when faced with high water levels? We spoke to Dwight Campbell, operations manager at Riders Auto Express, whose first piece of advice, a simple one.
As you drive through the water, particularly with the speed, what's going to happen is that the vehicle itself, the fan, it acts as a propeller. So it puts the water back to the engine. So you got the alternator, you got the starter, sometimes your belt slip. So slow down as you're driving through the water. Some of the cars do not have the mud guard that prevents the water from coming up.
Campbell further advises that as best as drivers can, they detour when they notice flooding. Although less likely, stalling out is still possible when going slow. For those who don't fall in either category and have already experienced vehicular damage,
sometimes you could just maybe try let the vehicle sit and let it dry out on its own. If that doesn't happen, just invite a trained technician and let them come by and do a diagnostic of the vehicle.
Other tips: follow closely behind the vehicle in front of you, staying within a safe distance. This helps ensure you're traveling along the safest path, as the leading vehicle can help identify any hazards or deeper sections of water. Immediately turn off the air conditioning if it's on. Leaving it on while driving through flooded areas can lead to water being drawn into the engine bay, potentially damaging the fan and risking engine stalling. Drive in the middle, as this is where the roads are usually higher. Stick to this section to also avoid soft verges or hidden obstacles. And lastly, keep moving. Continuously move forward without stopping for prolonged periods in flooded areas. Stopping for too long increases the risk of water entering the engine bay and causing damage. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Danielle Dean.
Thanks, Daniel. We're going to toss it to LaDawn and Marcellus, who are standing by sitting to give us a sneak peek of Access Now, guys.
Makushla, we're women, and I know we love to go shopping for nice things, but Leno Corporate, they're going to tell us how to save a buck or two, right, Marcellus? I know you love to go shopping. These nice
first of all, you
suits
read wrong when you said we're women. I don't know what you're talking about, but yeah, okay, I totally get it. Yes. I totally understand.
Sounds good. Still to come, we highlight a ZNES milestone.
Let's go.
At Frame Studio, as soon as you enter the door, we showcase any individual that comes in there and make it feel like they are at home. The space itself is 1,800 square foot. Our psych wall, which is industry standard also, is 24 feet wide. You can do anything that you can possibly think of. At Frame Studio, under our theme, Now Create More, we look at Frame Studio as a canvas. And any artist knows a canvas is blank, and then you create whatever you want to do, right? So we have where you could rent tools. We even have workstations that people could rent out to anyone inspiring to do what I've done, or what my colleagues have done, or any other journey I would say to you, don't be afraid. The worst someone can actually tell you is no. So if you have a vision, you have an idea, not everyone will get it. But if you believe in your vision, you believe in your idea, I say go wholeheartedly at it.
For more information about the Creative Entrepreneurs Initiative and the Crafting the Bahamas workshops, email info@sbdcbahamas.com or call us at 461-7232.
From paradise to paradise, Bahamas Air invites you to embark on a seamless island journey from the sun-kissed coast of Nassau, the Bahamas, to the rhythmic shores of Montego Bay, Jamaica. Soar high above a turquoise tapestry on the most trusted airline in the Caribbean. Our inaugural flight takes wing on November 17th, 2024. Don't delay. Book your idyllic escape today.
$10 deal. Available only at Marco Southwest, Prince Charles, Village Road, and Robinson Road. Fine. Let me see what it's about. I'll take 20 of those, please. Hey. You good? Yeah, bro. Marcos, get this new deal. Get yourself a large one-topping pizza for only $10. $10? Yeah. Thank you. You're welcome. Hey, I need 30 of them $10 carry-out pizza deal, please.
A significant milestone for the well-known radio, youth, and gospel program Youth Perspective, hosted by our very own Keshagan Adderley. It's been a decade of engaging young listeners on topics of faith, personal growth, and community involvement. Since its inception, Youth Perspective has become a beacon for youth seeking to navigate their spiritual journeys while addressing contemporary issues. The show, which airs weekly, combines uplifting messages with relatable discussions, drawing in a diverse audience of young people eager to explore their relationship with God and each other.
The next generation, they are our next leaders, they are our next politicians, our next prime ministers, and so we need to be able to cater to them, and we need to be able to put our focus and our effort on getting them to where they need to be. Over the years, we've been able to interview authors as young as 8 years old. We've been able to interview youth organizations that are helping to shift and change and mold the next generation of our leaders. And so I think that will stick with me for as long as I live.
Listeners and fans expressing their appreciation for the show, crediting it with helping them navigate life's challenges through a faith-based lens.
I see myself being able to impact so many more lives, being able to give so many organizations, so many more young people a voice to be able to spread their message across for whatever they're doing, and so that they can continue to bring positivity in their community and also to the nation at large. Where you are now is not your final destination. And so know that wherever you are now, you could always bounce back, you could always do better, but it starts with you, all right? That's the most important factor. And so if you believe, you can achieve. And so just go after it and soar high, because I believe in you.
Some great advice there, Keshagan. And that does it for the National Report, but stay close. The Bahamas Tonight continues with Access Now.